Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Bros, and today we're going to be talking about The Artist of the Beautiful, written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Alright, so The Artist of the Beautiful. Within this work, we have this man by the name of Owen. Owen, he is a clockmaker. But he's very fancy about it. He wants to make his clocks, his watches, timepieces. He wants to make them beautiful. He wants them to make them special. He wants to pretty much like put life into them, put the spirit of life into his work. And the townspeople, the people around him, his customers, they're not really particularly obsessed about the beauty of these things. They just want good practical work. Robert is the opposite of Owen within this work. Robert, he has a sledgehammer, he welds things. He's the guy, the blacksmith, pretty much. And they're very different from each other. You pretty much have a blacksmith, a handyman, a guy who could fix everything, a guy who could weld things. You have that guy versus Owen, who's all about beauty and making his clocks beautiful. Now Peter, who was Owen was Peter's apprentice. He's really not happy with Owen. He's like, Owen is too fancy. He's always chasing beauty, not practicality. And this work and the people that Owen is dealing with, they're all about practicality. They want practical things. They want you to create. Think about it this way, like, if you're a shoemaker, you make shoes. If you're a door maker, you make doors. If you sell chickens, you sell chickens. Good practical things, to do good practical work, to do everyday boring things. But Owen, he's trying to go into the celestial. He's trying to reach something that's greater than what we perceive as human beings. He's trying to reach, in a way, the spiritual side of life, or the spiritual world, something higher than human understanding, than human comprehension. He's the guy that goes into the desert. He's the guy that's the weirdo. He's the guy that sees beyond the horizon, right? He's an outcast. Now Owen, he loves Annie. Annie is Peter's daughter, and pretty much Annie has to choose between Robert and Owen within this work. Ultimately, Annie does choose Robert because, well, Robert is pretty much more stable. He has a job. He's not crazy, and uh, her father likes Robert because Robert is doing good work, and he has a good working sledgehammer, and he can do some good work and get a good work, good payment, good choice for a husband for his daughter. So Peter is more impressed with Robert. So Annie does marry Robert, and they have a son. Owen is pretty much left behind. He's, all about making his clocks, making beautiful things, and reaching the celestial. He does inherit a good sum of money, and he goes into drinking for a while, drinking wine, because he has enough money to do so. He's kind of a fancy, right? Since he came into his fortune, into his inheritance, and he can drink wine. He pretty much he's kind of like exploring life or running after butterflies. So he's a man that's less worried about the practical side of life and more worried about the spiritual, or I guess, the great beyond, or things that, the beauties of the world, things like that. Um, Ultimately, the story comes to the point where Annie is married to Robert. She has a son. Peter is picking on Owen, and Owen does come to dinner, go to visit um, Annie and Robert one night, and he brings this present for Annie, and it's this work of beauty. It's like a living work of art. It's a butterfly that flies around the room and lays on people's fingers, and it glows, At several points, it glows and it goes dim. It goes and it goes dim. It pretty much it's based off of, do the people believe in the work of art or not, or because the people, they're stuck in the practical side of life, doing practical things. Job, marriage, work, food. The practical things, the survival things in life. Peter's all about that. Harsh, straight to the point, direct. While Owen is about, again, the beauty of life, the things, the great beyond, right? Ultimately, Annie's son crushes the butterfly, and it pretty much goes away into fragments. The butterfly did a bunch of things before the sun killed it. It went around the room, laid on people's fingers. It sparkled or had sparks at some point. It did a bunch of butterfly things, or a bunch of beautiful, wonderful things, and the sun ends up crushing it. Now, Annie, Annie's not like head over heels over Owen. She doesn't truly understand him. Although Owen wants her to understand him, she doesn't truly understand him. She's not really about. She's not so fanciful or chasing after beauty as Owen is. So there's several points within this work where Owen thinks that Annie gets him, and what he's trying to achieve, but she really doesn't. She's just he's in another world. All right. So yeah, Robert ends up with Annie because they're more of the same mindset. They're more, the if you look at Annie's father, Peter, you look at Robert, you look at the son, her son, you look at her life. She's, again, marriage, food, work, job, practicality of life, survival, things like that. They're not chasing after beauty. Owen is the person here that was chasing after beauty throughout the whole work, and he reached high enough to create something that is a symbol for beauty, that is the butterfly, to present in a way in which humans can understand or see, but ultimately humans destroy it, and the sun pretty much smashes it into pieces. And so some artists will never be understood. Again, the great men of the world, the Albert Einsteins, the artists, the philosophers, the prophets, the religious leaders, the great ones, the ones that are mysterious, the ones that are always surrounded or shrouded in mystery. A lot of times people don't get them, and a lot of times people just miss the whole thing. And the people that we see within this work, that's exactly what happened here. But yeah, that's the work, that's what happens. And in terms of analysis and deeper meaning, um, I mean, it's the chase of beauty. Owen's chasing beauty. He's chasing art. He's chasing something greater than ourselves. While the people around him, again, they're looking for the practical side of life. And that's why Owen lost Annie. That's why he didn't get married to her. But I mean, I don't think he would want to be married to her because, again, he's a man chasing after something, or he wants to spend his time doing something that most people don't want to do, or most people don't even understand. So there's a disconnect between Annie and Owen that is a big gap that I don't think would ever be fixed, or they would never come to see each other eye to eye. Yeah, but that's my summary analysis. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.